Hello and welcome to Season 3 of Meet The Drapers, Brand Accelerator. Every week, 3 entrepreneurs pitch their startups to the Drapers and a VIP guest judge. Every episode, the judges declare a winner to move on to the semifinals.
And the winner is...
But here's the twist. You, the viewer, can invest in any and all of these startups. Like a company? Go to meetthedrapers.com and invest in their live crowdfunding campaign, and you can bring them back for the season finale.
The crowd is voting in 3 of our finalists.
This is your shot to invest like a venture capitalist. Now, let's make some money.
Welcome back to Meet the Drapers. We are in episode 2 of season 3. Woo-hoo. I'm fired up. I got my Bitcoin tie on, my Batman socks with cape.
That's so cool.
And I am ready to go. You guys ready to go?
Yes.
Big day today. I have on my right my father, Bill Draper. He was a pioneer of venture capital. He helped build the Silicon Valley from way back. But this is a particularly poignant day for him because we're going to be doing social entrepreneurship today. And on my left, Polly Draper, the great actress, producer, writer. She created Stella's Last Weekend, also the Naked Brothers Band on Nickelodeon. And our guest judge today is BV Jagadeesh, and he is a managing partner for KAAJ Ventures. KAAJ Ventures is a venture fund that he's built, but before that, he was a great entrepreneur. He started a business that sold to Citrix for $325 million, and now he's spending a lot of his time doing philanthropic work. So, BV, really great to have you on the show. Today's show, the winner will receive $10,000 from me and $20,000 from Brand Capital. The winner will also go on to be a part of our playoffs. What I'd like to ask all of you, and let's start with you, BV, social ventures, they're going after something that really is an important sociological change in the world. How do you look at them? How do you think about them?
You can actually categorize social companies into 2 different categories, right? So a nonprofit organization is where you put the money and then you have NGOs who really go and solve some world's toughest problems. For example, in India, I'm involved with a water project called Overseas Volunteers for Better India. And as we know, India is actually seeing a drastic water challenges, right? Because the underground water has been sucked up so much that you have to go almost like 1,200 feet to get the water from the water table. No. And then coming to the profit-centric social impact. So I'm like involved with a company called People Shores. We take on homeless kind of people, and what we do is we provide them training in modern technologies, and we get the jobs from companies like Google or Amazon or Microsoft, and we give these jobs to these people. And interestingly enough, they are not ready yet to go into the regular office environment. So we have an office where we house all these people, and these people come to work, and we provide them an environment, we provide them training, then they can go back and take up regular jobs.
Wow.
Companies like Google, Amazon, they pay us, and it's our job to get the job done from these people.
And Dad, you created the first social impact nonprofit with DRK Foundation, where entrepreneurs were given $100,000 for each of 3 years, and then they had to become sustainable. And these entrepreneurs were all nonprofits.
We just determined who is trying to do a very important task. We make sure that we like the people and we like the general area that they're going into, but we don't try and tweak it too much.
I have to feel strongly about it to begin with. I look at the passion of the founder and how they explain it to me. It's hard not to want to give money to everyone, but some of them feel like it's a more circuitous route to the solution.
I believe an entrepreneur is an entrepreneur, and whether they're a nonprofit or for-profit, they're using a vehicle to accomplish the goals and the missions that they're going after. I believe all 3 of the entrepreneurs we're about to meet are for-profit entrepreneurs. So let's bring them on, shall we?
Yeah, my name is Adam Lazar. I'm the CEO and founder of Asarasi. We're the world's first and only sustainable and renewable source of pure organic water that we harvest from the maple tree. Yeah, so we're in the fresh market in 22 states in about 160 stores and about 1,000 other independent natural retailers across the United States. I am super excited to be here. Just to be able to be chosen for this program and to be able to meet the Drapers and be involved in this opportunity was just incredible for us, and I'm just happy to be here.
Welcome to Meet the Drapers. Give us your pitch.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to come tell you about Asarasi. We're the world's first organic, plant-based, sustainable and renewable source of pure water. We actually harvest from the maple tree. I walked into a maple farm in the spring of 2008 and I discovered a billion-gallon byproduct of the family farms that produce maple products in the United States and Canada. And I thought to myself, what is going on here? And I asked the farm in a maple open house, I said, sir, what are you doing with this byproduct? I saw a drain pipe 8 inches around, all this 15,000 gallons an hour of sugar-free maple sap being thrown away by this farm. He said, well, who would want it? It's just water. I said, what? I said, this is a pure form of plant-based water. What can we do with it? And he said, well, I don't know. I said, well, would you sell it to me? And he said, sure. He looked like I was totally crazy.
And he was curious to where we go with that and what the potential might be to use that as a source for bottled water, and Asarasi was born from that.
And so fast forward, I lived in LA and we all experienced this epic drought. And I thought, what can one person do? And I realized that one person could do a lot. So I sold my house, I invested in the company, and a few years later, here we are today. So we're broadly distributed across the United States, Japan, as well as the UAE and Mexico. Today, we actually harvest maple saps with these farm partners through a technology called reverse osmosis. And how this works is that the farmer will take their saps, put it through a high pressure filtration membrane system, separate the sugar molecule from the saps, and ultimately throw the rest away. So for every gallon of sugar that's harvested, 50 gallons of this byproduct, we actually bottle that up. And so our mission is to replace the bottled water industry with a sustainable alternative. Now, we're a circular economy to family farms, so those farms double their money on their existing crop with very little extra labor. Consumers have trust and transparency in what they're finally consuming, real powerful consumption impact, which consumers are looking for. We're the purest form of water in the world. We've created a $20 billion organic water category with this byproduct. 1 billion gallons goes wasted, so we're a tremendously scalable opportunity. We have contracts with 110 family farms to produce $20 billion worth of plant-based waters. And we're a great product, a great business, and we're doing some great works.
Terrific. So where did the water go before? Just into the ground?
The ground is frozen at the time of year they harvest maple saps.
Okay.
So they actually have to build a managed system, whether it's a leach field or piping to some other way of getting rid of it. So it's actually a cost structure to them today to get rid of it. The ground is frozen, so if they put it out across that ground, it'll just evaporate off the topsoil into that dry, arid atmosphere. So we're helping the environment.
Well, do you have revenues? What are your revenues?
We do, yeah. We've sold over 500,000 bottle units to date.
What'd you do for the last year?
The trailing 12 was 200,000. The forward-looking 12 will be around 500,000 with our current custody.
And so the consumer wants water because it's better for the environment or better for their bodies?
Well, I think there's multiple reasons. People buy bottled water for its uniqueness of source and its purity of source, and then its health benefits. So we can be all of those things to the consumer, and then secondarily have tremendous environmental and agricultural impact. So conscious consumption is a really hot trend today, and that's what we're focused on, as well as the purity and uniqueness of source.
I mean, I've never worried much about what water I drink. It comes out of the tap, and to me, it's just or a bottle.
That's unusual. You're unusual then.
Well, no, is that true?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no question that you can get good quality water from a tap. The question you have to ask yourself is, when that is not available to me, what else is? We're in a lot of grocery stores where people are making that choice decision between those 300 brands on the shelf, and they're choosing Asarasi for that reason, because it has a much more powerful impact than the other brands they could choose from.
I think your flavoring is a good idea, because that probably
Would you like to try?
Some of those.
Yeah, let's try.
How many maple trees are there?
One for you, sir. Would anyone like to try it for you?
I
definitely. Is this just the normal one?
This is the natural.
In the north.
In Canada.
Oh, this is carbonated.
Yeah, we add a little carbonation. So this is our natural product, and then we use organic extracts.
You also have normal.
You have non-carbonated?
We don't do any flat water today, but we can.
How much do you charge for this?
At retail, it'd be $1.49 to $1.99.
And what do you get for that?
We end up with a 50% profit margin. So our product unit cost is right around 50 cents a unit. We sell that for about $1 to the distributor.
And then they sell it for $1.50.
Correct.
I have two questions. One is, if the demand increases, right, can you produce enough quantity
We can.
to take on the demand? And number two, have you done any analysis of the marketing dollars that the rest of the guys have actually spent? Because you will need to figure out, right, how much money you actually need.
Your first question, scalability. There's 1 billion gallons that gets thrown away every single year, which could do 500 million in revenue based on the existing source of supply. If we buy that from those farms that we've contracted with and the rest of the industry, that will grow to tens of billions of gallons additional as the supply and demand curves adjust, it will. Your second question is around the marketing and awareness. You know, when you have something that's authentic and engaging, that voice of the consumer can start to resonate. When you take a celebrity voice, that's what it's going to take, along with strategic partnerships that we're working on right now, to really amplify our opportunity to the rest of the world.
So why hasn't it grown faster?
Marketing for water with so much
good.
water on the market.
Well, you have to really put a lot of dollars behind any consumer product. And so we've had limited capital resources. And so to get to where we are today, I feel very confident that we can get even further with your help. Demonstrable resources is what this is going to take in order to grow the business.
Well, thank you so much for being on Meet the Drapers.
Thanks so much.
Great. Nice to hear about Asarasi.
You got it, Asarasi. Thank you.
And that's very good water.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I finished mine. Thank you.
Outstanding. Enjoy the flavor. It was fantastic. You know, being able to engage with people that can make a difference in your business. You know, I was able to answer everything that they wanted to know more about. I felt really, really comfortable and confident that they understood my product, my mission, and my business, and that they were very excited about it. So any investment that comes into Asarasi is going to be building on our growth and our trajectory and our traction to date. You know, this isn't just something that's going to have a measurable return later on. We can have a measurable return now. Whenever you live someplace for a long period of time, it's almost like you get back to your roots, and coming here to film for the Drapers kind of felt that way. I felt like coming home.
So, what did everybody think of Asarasi? Dad?
After 5 years and doing $200,000 a year sales, just doesn't seem like it's a success to me. I think there's something missing, and his packaging is really good, so therefore I give him credit for being good marketing, but something's wrong.
This is such a commodity market because there's so many of them. To the end consumer, it's the same water, right?
It's all
to me, whether I drink this versus other water, it's pretty much the same thing to me. And that's why I was asking the question, has he thought about how much money he has to spend for the marketing? I mean, I think he has to spend an enormous amount of dollars.
Well, what I was thinking is this is the kind of thing that you get one millennial influencer, celebrity, that says this is the new thing. It comes from a tree. It's this whole, we don't even do anything to it. We take this water and it's pure. Because for some weird reason, because I have 2 millennial sons, LaCroix is like the water that for some reason everybody knows about it. That's all he needs to do. Then suddenly this company goes from being the company that makes $250,000 a year to the company that can't keep, there aren't enough trees for this.
Well, that's my concern.
The other concern.
I wonder if he does run out. He said, we can get to 500 million and just on the maple trees alone. Just getting the influencer out there, that would help with his marketing, but he's also got to, produce all this stuff, and he has to pay for that stuff up front.
Yeah.
And that costs a lot of money. Even if he got a whole bunch of interest, it would still cost him a lot to grow. Anyway, tasted like a tree to me. And we gotta move on. We're ready for our next entrepreneur. Bring him on. But before we do, let's see what's going on behind the scenes.
My name is Chirag Virani. I'm a co-founder at Sparkle Innovations. So we make biodegradable sanitary pads from banana fiber, and they are completely biodegradable. We are at a point where we are currently at a pre-launch stage. We would like to reach more women and offer the pad at the same price as what is available currently in the market, which is plastic pad, but without the plastic. We would like to diversify and offer different pads at different size and different price points. I can't believe I'm here actually. It's an honor and a privilege. I never thought I would be here any day, but I hope they love the idea. I mean, yeah.
Welcome to Meet the Drapers. Give us your pitch.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. We are Sparkle Innovations. We are trying to make this world a better place with less plastic pollution, with more sustainable products while supporting circular economy.
We are the first company in the world to use the combination of banana fiber, bamboo fiber, and cornstarch to make a biodegradable, plastic-free, and chemical-free sanitary pads.
Sorry, what did you say? To make a what?
Make biodegradable, plastic-free, and chemical-free sanitary pads.
Sanitary
Sanitary.
pads.
For
Sanitary
girls.
pads.
Yes.
This is
Like
for
baby-
girls.
Oh, okay.
Conventional pads which are available in the market, they contain up to 90% plastic.
So the conventional pads do not biodegrade for 600 to 800 years after disposal.
Right.
And Sparkle pads actually biodegrade in around 6 months of disposal. What happens with banana fiber? Banana plants grow rapidly in just 9 to 12 months. And once bananas are harvested, these plants become agro-waste. So what farmers do is they either burn these stems, which causes pollution, or they actually have to pay extra labor to get the stems out of the farms. And that is where we come in. So we collaborate with farmers. In fact, in India, there is around 800,000 hectares of banana plantation that generates 64 million tons of agro waste, which is completely wasted, and it could be such a huge potential material for sustainable byproducts. So we extract banana fiber using innovative machines that we have developed in-house, and we transform the hard fiber into soft and absorbent pulp, which forms the central core of our sanitary pads. So the top layer of the sanitary pad is made of bamboo fiber, which is antibacterial and super soft. The central core is made of banana fiber, which is naturally super absorbent at locking of menstrual fluid. And the bottom layer is made of cornstarch. The entire pad with this composition degrades in just 6 months.
And for distribution, we plan to offer subscription-based model direct to consumer so that they can customize their box. And we introduced this feature just because many girls, they have to buy 3 types of the pads: heavy flow, light flow, and medium flow according to their need. So with Sparkle, they can choose how many pieces, like they have the option to choose that how many pieces of each size of pad they need per cycle. And according to that, they can order online and a personalized box will be delivered at their doorstep each month.
Let's talk about some numbers. So if we talk about the global feminine care market, it is worth around 25 billion US dollars. Indian feminine care market is valued at around $500 million. And we are applying similar technology to baby diapers as well. When we talk about the plastic pads available in the market, they start selling at around 15 cents per piece. We start to offer them at 30 cents per piece with individual disposal bag and the premium packaging.
Okay, why do you care about this? I can see how you might. Oh, by the way, do you use these?
Of course, I love
You're
it.
using them.
Can I
And
see
are
what
they better in some way other than
This
just...
is much better as per comfort-wise, flexibility and absorbency.
And why do you care about
So
this?
after I graduated from my engineering, I actually took a gap year and I traveled to Kenya, Tanzania, Mozambique, South Africa to volunteer. And that is where I saw that millions of women miss up to 50 to 60 days of school or work because they don't have access to pads. And in Africa, many parts of Africa, they actually use banana fiber as an absorbent material. In India, actually, I come from a family of farmers. My family owns banana plantation. So I connected the dots and tried to see that there is so much agro waste that we can utilize and transform this potential material into making something that is sustainable. So actually, we also have the banana fiber, the hard one, the
This is
soft
the
one.
individual pack.
How do women normally, do they...
You wrap them in
Newspaper or
toilet paper.
paper towel, but the
Wow.
You can price it around 50 cents. Is that what you're saying?
15. So we can actually
15 cents.
15. So there are 2 price points that we're offering. First is premium packaging and the individual disposal bag. So just you can carry it to your office, put it in a purse. It's just the experience that we're providing.
Yeah, of course.
Hassle-free disposal. And the second is for the mass market. So they are biodegradable. And with that, we can actually offer the pad at the same price that all the major companies are offering, but they're plastic pads. So our pads will be at the same price without plastic, without any petrochemical byproducts.
And you're trying to segue into diapers.
Yes.
Have you been selling this? How many have you sold?
So actually, we are at the pre-launch stage right now. This is the month actually we were at TechCrunch, and that's where we launched at a pitch. And so this month,
TechCrunch?
Yeah, Disrupt.
Why would you launch there? Why wouldn't you launch
they
it?
invited us as a top pick because they define tech as anything innovative is tech.
And what's your margin? How much do you make this for, and how much
around
are you
40%.
going to sell it for?
40% margin. So in India, we make one at 12 rupees and sell at 21 rupees per piece. And in the US, it would be 15 cents per piece.
And then they go through retail, or are you selling it online?
So our model we are trying to introduce is direct to consumer. So customers would be able to buy it directly online and it would be delivered to the doorstep every month.
And we are also trying to solve the two problems which we are finding. That's the first one is access to equal opportunities in India especially. And the second is the plastic pollution, as you see. So in India, around 200 million girls, they have to drop their schools around 50 to 60 days per year because they cannot afford it. And they use rags and ash and other unhygienical methods to manage their periods. So with our Buy One Give One initiative, we are trying to help them, and we aim to donate a pad with every Sparkle purchase.
To be able to make a big impact, that is what we have focused on, scalability. So how can we reach to the mass market and provide them another alternative which is eco-friendly, actually make an impact that will reduce the plastic problem.
Well, thank you so much for being on Meet the Drapers.
Thank you very much.
It's great. I hope you do make the world sparkle.
Thank you.
Terrific.
Thank you. Crazy. That's one word I would say. I mean, there was so much going on, so many questions from all four judges, and I'm glad she was with me because it was easy for her to explain, you know.
We hope they like our idea.
Yeah. But I think we did give it our best shot. So this is the way to go. I mean, sooner or later, people will choose sustainable. They will go away from plastic. Everybody is more conscious. I mean, we don't want more plastic in our oceans. Today or tomorrow, people will go towards this direction, and whoever invests early will be leading the market.
So, what did you all think of Sparkle out there in viewer land? And what did our judges think? BV, probably when we brought you on, you didn't think you'd be a judge of feminine napkins. But here you are. Go ahead.
But
Tell us what you think.
I'm a little bit familiar with that. So I just did a little bit of math. So just India itself. India population at 1.3 billion people, 50% women, 650 million people. And let's assume about 10% of the women actually use the pads, right? That's about 65 million people. So that's his total market opportunity, right? And especially because the price is not high compared to the existing products, this actually turns out to be almost like $10 to $12 million a month. Just the India market alone.
Yeah. Are these more expensive or less expensive than
He said compatible.
He says it's comparable.
He said
15
it's
cents is what he was talking about.
The only thing is right now he doesn't have the funds to make it so that they can make the stuff.
Mass manufacturing.
Well,
Mass
just tacking
manufacturing.
on to that, I think marketing will be a really difficult thing because while the market is big, the marketing costs are already taken up by a lot of people who are making pads today. There's nothing unique about it.
No, it's very unique because everybody, once a month, they're using so much paper and plastic, and they don't like that idea.
The typical woman in the market is going to be buying at the grocery store, wherever they buy.
Not necessarily.
And not really think about that.
First of all, they're talking about it would be like buying in bulk for these underdeveloped countries, how these girls, they literally have to stay home from school every time they have their period because it's so embarrassing because they don't have anything to use.
I think you're concentrating on the wrong thing. The real problem is there's a huge cost of marketing program that's going to compete with those that are already out there. There's lots of competition.
What if the people helping to get this product into India, what if they buy it in bulk?
What you're saying is to hit the bottom of the pyramid.
Yes.
But what I'm saying, like the early market opportunity, is at the top of the pyramid or the middle of the pyramid, where many of these women, as you said earlier, they're actually conscious of the fact that, you know, this thing is not biodegradable.
It would hit both. Yeah, it would hit the top and the bottom.
Exactly.
Where I think the top would be the people who are conscious of the
bottom is going to be cost.
The bottom
The top is going to be, you know, sensitive to the environment.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on. And before we do that, let's see what's going on behind the scenes.
Okay, my name is Melissa Flores. Our company is Yeii.
Yeah, my name is Eric Alvarez. Yeii stands from Young Entrepreneurship and Innovation International. For kids starting from K3 up to high school, what we are trying to teach these kids is how to make a startup from the scratch, but putting emphasis on what we call the entrepreneurial DNA. which is all these things that you don't learn at a school, but you learn like in the street when you are starting up something. I mean, I'm not feeling like, dizzy or sleepy. I mean, it's part of being an entrepreneur. Do what it takes to make it happen.
Welcome to Meet the Drapers. Give us your pitch.
Hello, everybody. My name is Eric Alvarez.
My name is Melissa Flores, and we are here to talk to you about Yeii. That stands for our Young Entrepreneurship and Innovation International Program. We are both entrepreneurs, and we are passionate about it. So when our smallest kid was going to go to school, we were looking for a school that promoted entrepreneurship and innovation in their curriculum. So we were looking for these schools and we didn't find one. So we just chose a school that's nearby. And afterwards, we presented to the principal the idea of creating a new program of entrepreneurship and innovation to help the younger kids. This was our first school. By the end of the year, we had a second school, and then this began to grow.
We are university teachers. So when we asked about getting ideas, and we discovered that kids, they have a super creative IQ, and whenever we are testing who is doing the best ideas, there are no differences. So we try to get into focus the K3 to high school in order to teach them about how to develop all these observation skills, how to develop the creativity, how to learn from failures, and all these skills that you don't learn at school. We made a curriculum for that. We made a platform, an online platform for doing it. We make events where the kids are pitching to people like you. We make international competitions, and all this is what Yeii is about. Our platform is what we're using to grow. The platform is a project-based platform, and it's about a set of steps telling how to create a business from scratch. The way we promote it is similar to what other people are doing. For instance, iExcel is a platform that is teaching kids math, for instance, and they sell to schools and they sell to kids an online fee.
You're selling your curriculum to the school, but it said B2C up there, which would mean that you're selling to the students or their parents.
Yeah, the parents are the ones who are paying, but we get in touch with the school to get the promotion.
And you share the revenue with the school?
We don't share the revenue with the school. What the school does is get this as a value added to what they offer.
The school has to collect the money from the parent in order to pay you. Is that the way?
That's the way it works now.
Wait, so only certain kids get in this program?
No, all the school.
All the school.
For example, what they ask is we want this program, and then they charge us as a new license for another curriculum to their parents, or sometimes the school absorbs the cost and they pay to us the fee.
Is it a private school or public school?
Normally private schools. We have had more than 400 projects going out from different kids.
Give me an example of 2 or 3 of what the projects might be.
Okay, well, this one did a wheelchair that is attached to a bike. So the mom can take out the kid with brain palsy out.
The children are developing these things.
Yeah. I mean, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old.
Where are you two based?
In Monterrey, Mexico.
And where are your schools? You said you're in 2 schools or 3 schools?
No, we are in 16 schools right now.
16 schools?
Yeah.
Are they all in Monterrey?
No, in Saltillo and San Luis. We are currently opening in Panama. There are people interested there in opening. And
how much money are you making?
We charge $50 per kid, and we have a margin of 40%, roughly. The deployment for this is not very difficult. We have the platform. We know how it works. We can train in a very easy way a bunch of teachers in an area. That's the way we do it.
How do you train them? What do you train them in?
We spend 4 hours with them, with the teachers, 20 to 30 teachers. We show them the platform, how it works. The platform tells you exactly how the lessons are made.
And we gave them all the tools, lessons plans, PowerPoints, videos, so they can give the same material to the schools. And we are constantly asking teachers how are they doing. And at the end of the year, we make an interscholastic competition with the best projects on each school.
How long did it take you to get to $100,000?
It took us around 1-2 years to get there. We started with 40 kids, and we just grew up to 2,000 per year.
And are they all renewing?
Yeah.
So you're holding on to the business you already have.
Yeah.
What kind of results you have seen with the children?
Results.
Behavioral change,
Okay,
innovation?
this is very interesting. For example, when we get to the finals, there was one mom that came to me and she told me when they called me to tell me that my daughter would be representing their school, I was like, really? My daughter? I only tell my daughter just pass the school, just a 70 is okay. And what I told her is that this is a different ability. It's very easy to find a kid that's academically brilliant or a guy that's in sports really good. But these kind of guys are usually not shining this much because they are like more active people and they have other abilities.
Thinking out of the box.
Well, yay! Thank you for being on Meet the Drapers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you here.
So, I mean, it's a great experience. We really enjoyed that. I was kind of calm and then I started getting nervous. But it was a great experience. I mean, those are great guys giving us advice on the business, which is a very good thing.
This will help us find the talents that are now not shining with traditional curriculum. And it's like empowering these kind of kids and helping them solve things in a different way.
So, what did you all think of Yeii?
Well, my concern is that the student has to talk to the parent has to convince the teacher then has to get the school to put the money in. That's a long chain.
And if it's individuals, like this student can do it, but this student can't.
That works after school. It doesn't work during.
No, it works. It applies for everybody. So this model actually works very well outside of the US.
Is that right?
Because in most private schools, the additional cost is actually very nominal. Fundamentally, it's very different the way education is done in US versus in the rest of the countries. Whereas here, the children are dreaming of what they want to do, and this company actually helps them to guide. Okay, if I want to be like a pilot, they actually start helping you to take what kind of courses that are available. And I can always change my mind.
Yeah.
Right? I can become a mechanical engineer, I can become a doctor, and it is sold through the California education system and so on and so forth.
Right.
Because most education system outside of the US is a one-way, meaning teacher teaches, student listens. So these kind of tools help to make the child to think out of the box.
I think the teacher is key in this, and
what teacher is going to want to give up their time for someone else's
become too
time?
important, except that the teacher would adopt the idea.
I even remember with BizWorld, where I tried to convince the teachers at Nat and Alex's school to do the 4-day BizWorld thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, are you kidding? We have such a jammed up curriculum.
Yeah.
Because they have their own egos and their own agenda.
Correct.
So I don't feel like this is the kind of thing
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the tough decision now, and I'm going to need your help. Which of these three that will go on to the playoffs?
The Olympics.
The Olympic playoffs, and it's got to be one of these three. And then the other two have the ability to have the crowd love them, and then they might get to the playoffs too. But we choose one of the three. So we've got Asarasi.
That's the water cup.
That's the water.
We got Sparkle. That's the feminine pads. And we've got Yeii. So each of you come to your own decision and let me know which one's your favorite and why.
The first one, which is the water, I just felt that if it's the same as anything else, it's going to be very difficult for them to build that brand name and all that, right? Because at the end of the day, water is water. A consumer will look at that as yet another. So the only way they will survive and they will do well is once the branding is built. The second, the pad solution, it has a good chance of successfully executing and also building a revenue model that is a lot more feasible. I would vote for the second one, which is the pad company.
Okay.
Ditto for me. Every single thing he said, ditto. Plus the added bonus is it's the most helpful to the world and the environment because there are going to be a lot of girls that want to help the environment, that say, wow, this is a cool way to help the environment without paying more.
So I couldn't agree more with both of them. The pad company is the best, but they were all good.
Okay, well, what we need to do now is bring them all in.
Well, maybe you should tell what you think.
No, he can't.
Oh, you can't?
He's the mysterious final seer.
All right, the eyebrows. You got those from your mother.
Okay, let's bring in these entrepreneurs and let's let them know who won. So now it comes to the final decision for today's show. We had 3 really extraordinary impact entrepreneurs, and each of you showed some really interesting spirit. Asarasi, it's really extraordinary that you can get a free source of clean water out of all of these trees, and you can turn that into water that, by the way, tastes delicious. We're concerned about how much money it will take to train the world to drink tree-based water, and also how much money it'll take to grow a water company. They are very capital intensive. So, Yeii, very interesting all the way through. Interestingly, I created BizWorld, which is a similar kind of thing, and I really love when other people are doing something interesting like that, where you're taking entrepreneurship, putting it into the classroom at an early age. And you mentioned something that was really fun, which is there's always that extraordinary entrepreneurial student who wasn't an artist, who wasn't an athlete, who didn't really know academics, but they knew how to sell, or they knew how to make something great. Our concern with you is, does it scale? There are 2 of you, and also we'd love to see what that curriculum looks like. Sparkle. We were very fascinated by the idea of feminine napkins that were biodegradable, and exciting to think that market is so extraordinarily large, but we're concerned because we're not sure it works yet. You've just done sort of some market tests, and so we're still trying to figure out whether there's actually a business there. So, I'm just going to have to check with a crystal ball. Crystal ball, give me the vibe. Which entrepreneur will stay alive and move forward? Thank you.
No problem.
And we'll move forward to the final run. So, with that, Sparkle! Congratulations. Congratulations. And you two, both teams still have a shot, because the viewers out there are voting, and they're all going to be able to determine who else gets into the semifinals other than the people the judges choose. So well done, all of you. So if you're interested, vote for these guys and maybe join their crowdfund so that they move in to the semifinals too. So let's all get up.
All right.
First BV, we would like to welcome you to the Draper family.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed.
You have now been adopted as a Draper. So we've met a new Draper. Welcome to the family.
Congratulations.
And then all of us gather together here. So catch us next time on Meet the Drapers.
When Satoshi Nakamoto made a token perfecto, no friction, cross borders, decentralized. The world he did join.
He brought us together.
We're sharing Bitcoin, so we go no quarter and harmonize.
Connecting the world with pervasive money. He opened our minds, made the banks look funny. He kept his head down, he stayed in the dark. We'll never know if it was planned or a lark. But the world past Satoshi is forever changed. Whether his origin block is lost or unclaimed. World is rock bankers, shock bureaucrats too.